Hi, welcome to Off-Road Religion. Today I'm going to be working on a tool in my shop. I've got this vise that I've had for a long time and I want to clean it up, get it painted, look a little bit nicer. And I don't even know what the brand is because it's all gummed up and covered. So I'm going to go ahead, tear this thing down, clean it up, and eventually repaint it, and so it looks a little nicer in the shop. Just those little things that make the environment a little bit nicer. So follow along as I go ahead and tear this down, clean it up, and get it sanded and painted. Alright, so let's first go ahead and get our safety equipment on. Since we're going to be grinding, creating a lot of dust, and then the noise, we're going to go ahead and get our ear and our eye protection. Off with our gloves. Alright, show you a little bit of progress. You can already see we've got a star pattern here that I never even saw was on here before. So the tools I'm using, variable speed angle grinder. Grinding disc that I'm using is just an abrasive to remove rust, scale, paint, those different things. I also am going to be using on my other angle grinder sanding flap disc, and that's going to help take down more of the material, not just the cover of the rust and the paint. Help smooth it out. I'm going to see if I can go ahead and take this apart and keep going. So I've got a nut in here to take off. It's the collar to be able to take that screw out. And then some pins in here. That's what it was. So let's break down the components of this thing. It's got the main mounting base, and the inside of that mounting base was the threaded tube that the screw goes through, and then as it fits in this angled machine area, when it's tightened, it presses against that. There's also a pin which locates in the back of it to keep this from pushing out. So those are the three components of the base. And then the slide portion. We've got our long piece. We've got our Acme screw thread through there with the handle, and then a locking collar that then goes on the inside and locks this to keep that screw in place on here. So go ahead and get these individual components cleaned up a little bit further. Okay, going back to our PPE. So here we're at. Got all pieces sanded up, cleaned with acetone. Got a light spray on them. Gonna do a couple more coats. We did find out this is an American scale company. KC model number 56. So whatever that might turn up to be. So there it is, almost done. Just a little bit more paint and then some reassembly. Alright, we're back inside now. Parts are dry. We're ready to get them reassembled. Let's come on in and take a look as we put the pieces back together. First, we get the screw set. Alright, there we have it. Right, everything put back together now. And go ahead and put it back on the bench. I'm going to need to drill a new hole for it to mount it into the table to give it 3 points of attachment. So let's go ahead and get that over there. Alright, to use that third hole, we're going to need to open this up. Okay, nice and secure now. Okay, there we go. All back together. So what did I find out about this vise through my research? Originally I had found the side and I had read it out that it was a scale company KCMO, thinking model number 56. So I determined that it was an American scale company vise. The KCMO was not for model number, but Kansas City, Missouri. And 56 is the model number. What that designates is the jaw width is 6 inches wide and the opening is 10.5 inches wide. The star pattern that I thought I uncovered is actually considered a red seal. That red seal designates that it's a heavy duty machinist vise. It weighs in at a hefty 136 pounds. It was built, at least from the records that I could find, between April 9th of 1934 and early 1960s. The reason for that time period, one of the specifications I found in a really old ad for it back in the, it was at least after 1934, because on the ad it says it meets federal specifications of GGG-V- and then the other part's kind of illegible. It looks kind of like 414B. One thing I did learn, interestingly, was that there was a lawsuit against the company very early 1960s, and that ended up causing the company to close. So that's why we know it's at least a pre-1960s. So if you have some information on these American scale company vices pre-1960s, be happy to hear in the comments below. So that's it, a little bit of history on this old piece of metal here. Still going strong.